All right, we should be sharing. Okay, can we see my screen?
Yes.
And it's the slide?
Yeah,
it looks perfect.
Yes,
good.
Internet of Everything slide.
Yep, our standard one. Okay, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to our first session on the Internet of Everything Capstone project. In these, we're going to be talking about our projects, and hopefully it'll be mostly a sharing time. I really don't want to be sitting here just talking at people. It really should be the people who are involved all sharing their ideas excuse me, and getting help from the advisors or each other wherever this is suitable, or wherever you can.
Naz is here as well.
Morning, Ness.
Yeah, morning.
Okay, so first thing, it's already been asked that all of these meetings will be recorded, and we'll post them up on YouTube so you can review it later on if you've missed anything. This will mean you'll also be able to listen into any of the other sessions that we hold during the week. So we've got, this is the first one we've run. There will be another one for the same group of topics this evening for us, our time. And then next week we'll be looking at the other group, both morning and evening. Okay, so they will be available. Just remember this is recorded. And the first thing I'd like to do is only three of us here, but I hope more will be along shortly. We'll have a quick introduction of the people that are acting as your advisors. I'll start. I am Professor Ian Murray at Curtin University. I'm in the School of Electrical Engineering, Computing and Mathematical Sciences. That's a very mixed school. I've been teaching for somewhere near 20 years. My research areas is in health assistive technology and embedded systems. If you have any questions on general topics, the IoT in general, I'm probably the best person to contact. I'll hand over now to Naz, who has also been at Curtin teaching for a very long period of time and is our network expert. So Naz, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nazan Mohammadi. I'm teaching in Curtin over 12 years now. First starting with the laboratory teaching and doing technical stuff, and now doing the lecturing. I'll be available to answer your questions on networking and hopefully some of the technical issues you might have with your project. So I hand over to Josh now. Josh.
Yes. Yeah, hi, I'm Josh Gilchrist. I'm working at Curtin as a lab supervisor at the moment on the computer networking lab. I've been working on the simulations and some of the demonstrations you would have seen and participated in through the IoT courses. And I recognise a few names here from the discussion boards and emails, and you'll no doubt recognise me as the one who was responding to a lot of your queries on those. So I can help with simulation questions about Tinkercad or Packet Tracer or other similar things to that. If you've got any questions.
Okay. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Naz. So the idea is that if you have a look at the presentation I put up earlier, I've said what speciality the advisors have. So you best, if you can, direct your questions to the person who is most relevant. If you're unsure, just put the topic in the subject line, and we'll make sure the right person gets it. Savash, Valerie and Hannes haven't appeared as yet. Maybe they're having trouble connecting. We'll come back to them shortly. So once you've been through these discussions, if you have any follow-up questions or if you want further detail, please use email to get in contact with the advisor you think is most suitable. If you're not sure, as I said, just put the topic in the subject line and we'll sort that out. Okay, so just some ground rules to begin with. This is all recorded, so please be polite and respectful of others. If you have a very strong opinion about something, no problem expressing it, just do it in a respectful manner. If you would like to speak at any point during these talks, either raise your hand or type a quick chat panel, and I'll ask Josh to keep an eye on that for me because, as I said, I don't see it on my PowerPoint. And we will get to you as soon as we get the chance. Mute your microphone when you're not speaking, please, because background noise tends to interfere with these quite badly. So if you're not talking, please mute your microphones and it'll be a better experience for everyone. Video is optional. You don't have to turn your cameras on if you have one, but it's always nice to know who you're speaking to. So camera's nice, but it's completely up to you whether you want to have a video feed running at the same time. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is find out who we have here with us at the moment. A nice brief introduction of who you are, where you are, and generally, what's your idea? What are you thinking of doing for your project? Now, this is the ideal time if you're not certain what you want to do or exactly what your project is. These sessions are the best time to discuss that. Get some ideas from the other students. We can give you some pointers. We can even tie you in with some of the projects we've got running at Curtin at the moment. So, Josh, if you could unmute people in turn, they can then see that they're on and ready to go, and they can have their quick introduction. Off we go.
Okay, I'll start alphabetically then. Adrian, is it? I'll unmute you.
I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yes,
yep.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Adrian. I'm an engineer from Spain. And I want my idea to be based on a kind of sensor management system for health of horses in acquiring veterinary hospitals.
Okay, that was a little unclear. I'm afraid we've got a not a great audio connection there. You there, Josh?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I didn't catch a lot of that, unfortunately.
Yes, same. It was not the best connection, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Adrian doesn't, if I've connected now correctly, doesn't have a microphone, but they could possibly type something in the chat. It would be handy. Who would be next?
Andrew. Welcome, Andrew.
Hi, good morning everybody, and good evening to those that are far and away. My idea is working on a specialized packaging company that wants to have sensors and visibility of specialized goods, and what we're looking to assess is geolocation globally, orientation and handling of units. So that's where we're at this stage in the idea phase, and we're just going to go through all the processes in terms of what would be the best way to put it together.
Okay. Who's next, Josh?
Bobby. Welcome, Bobby.
Hello. I'm Bobby Jose, and I'm from India. And my idea is a fully automated aquaponics plant.
Ah, that's an interesting one, yeah.
Yeah, so we're connected to, all the sensors will be connected so that the person can monitor all the data in it. Makes it easy to diagnose and stuff. So that's the idea.
Yeah, Josh did a bit of work on water quality testing. If you remember that demonstration we set up a few years ago, Josh?
Yes, there were just a few water sensors connected to an Arduino and a Raspberry Pi.
Okay, is that everyone? We got some more?
So next on the list alphabetically, Garusa. Are you there, Garusa?
Hello, I'm Jarusa. I'm from Brazil, and my idea is a system to monitoring freezers in supermarkets to don't waste food. Okay, we have some rules here in Brazil. That the meat and some kind of the food needs to be refrigerated and some specifications of the humidity and the temperature. So I'm thinking about the system to monitor this and could send alarm to the maintenance teams to repair the equipment before they waste the food. Okay?
Okay, that's an interesting one. I could do with some freedom monitoring in my house.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerusha. Next on the list is Mauricio. Is that correct, your name?
That's perfectly correct. How you doing?
Hi.
Well, I'm based in Mexico City, and I have a BS in computer science, but hey, I got it like 30 years ago, as well as I have a BA in administration. So, and I've been working with business intelligence and IoT for the past 2-3 years. And the project that I'm working is into sports. Basically, I'm focused is in Taekwondo. The Taekwondo has been changing from when I started like 30 years ago to these days. Everything has changed because they modify the way they fight. So one of the things that sport is missing now is the strength, how strong it used to be, and now how easy or at least how fast it is. So it's different. So my idea is within the chest protector that we use for fighting, the intention is to have a sensor that can sense the impact. So can measure the force of that hit, can count the punch, and plus the force. So with those two together, you're gonna have a better situation of who's winning and who's having a better fighting. That's from one side. When I sent an email to see which topic group should I join, I was told to join the health group, and also that it could be interesting. I thought it was a great idea to add some sense of heart rate and some temperature as well, which I think could be really useful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I lost you guys. Sorry. So I was going to add as well, because the suggestion that I received, the heart rate and the temperature of the body, which I think is going to be a great idea to help the competitors and the trainers, the people who's training. And also what's called to add some movement, but I don't think it's going to be easy. So I'm working in that project for 2 months already. I have my prototype, and it still is really bad because it's a huge Arduino with my accelerator. So it has to go make it smaller and make it into production, and a lot of software has to be built around that. But that's my project.
It's an interesting one. And once we get Savash online, you'll be able to get some assistance from him. He's our current expert in inertial measurement units, the pressure sensors, how to reduce PCB size to something more usable. So he'll be a good fellow to have a bit of a talk to and get some of the details sorted out so he can start capturing some data.
Yeah, that would be really useful. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mauricio. The last one on the list at present is Varun. Are you there, Varun?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Yeah. So I am Varun. I'm out of India. and my idea is related to agriculture field, and it's a smart irrigation system. So the rough idea is to have remote control across farms and have analytics and weather prediction. So this is the rough idea, and give them the means the remote control means like in India there are large farms and things like that. So the farmer should have the ability to remotely control its irrigation systems like motors, and also have the using the sensors, the data, the actual data on the farm which he has, and based on that he could take decisions remotely. So that's the idea.
That's another really interesting one, because we can start looking at building in moisture sensors to the soil, pH levels, predicting whether you need to irrigate depending on the weather forecast.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
we can build up patterns from the long-term data storage, so we can look at if the certain conditions exist, such as the humidity levels, temperature, time of year. It's highly likely we won't receive any rain for the next 3 weeks, so therefore we need to do more irrigation to keep the crops alive. So that's tying all the sensors and the data storage and the prediction in is really a key aspect of what we try to do with the Internet of Things. This can also be applied through the other projects. So if we look at Taekwondo, by tracking the number of hits and the way a person is hitting, we can work out from their perhaps training schedule for them. So there's a weakness in the left-hand strike or Taekwondo, but we can capture that data over a longer period of time and see if the strength is for that person, and if it's not, adjust the training to suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all the six people on the list that are present at the moment.
All right. So I expect we'll be having a few more joining us in the very near future. And as I said, I'm surprised the others aren't here. They must have had some technical issues trying to do it from home, because it's very, very early in the morning for us. But they will be along as well. All right. So everyone seems to have some idea of what they're doing. Who was going to type? Didn't have a microphone, so...
That was Adrian at the start that we didn't get the best connection to.
Okay.
There's something that Adrian typed in about his project.
Can you let us know what that is, Naz, please?
I'm Adrian. I'm from Spain, and my idea is about a sensor-based management system for acquired veterinary hospitals. That's for hospitals, basically, so they have.
Okay, so I'll have a look at that once I can get out of this PowerPoint. All right, well, thank you all for that. As I said, we will have more people joining us fairly shortly for this. Definitely more for next week. I was going to say something else on that. Yep. Hopefully the other advisors will be online once we can sort out what happened to their connection. But again, the idea is, once you found out what other people are doing, try and form some teams. Next one. With the people in the same group as you, there is no problem working together on your projects. If you acknowledge what is your contribution, what is someone else's contribution, that is also perfectly okay. It's the way we always work. We don't build anything from scratch if we don't have to, so make use of what other people have done and get help from your teammates and also the advisors. But if it's not your work, just when you get to write your report, make sure that you state this is somebody else's work. But we'll go through on how to do that correctly at a later stage. Okay, so purpose of these meetings is we hope that they're not going to be me talking at you or Naz talking at you. We really want these to be interactive. It's what's going to make this course different to most online courses. It's dealing with real people in real time and talking to each other. So ask questions, as we said, type something in or raise your hand in the, I'm not sure what it's called. You can raise your hand to get attention and we will then get to you as soon as we can. The ideas that you're putting forward, initially, try and make them really ambitious and creative. If you can't get it all finished, that's fine. The normal way to create a product is you say, ideally, we would like all of these things. And then you work backwards from that point. And you say, well, we can get by if we just have this set of abilities with our design. It would be really nice to have this set of capabilities. And if everything goes perfectly and we've got lots of time, we'll add these other features in. So be really ambitious. You can upgrade at a later stage. At this point, you should really be thinking about the requirements. What are the requirements? What is the problem you're trying to solve? Therefore, what do you need to read to be able to solve those problems? If we look at the Taekwondo, we're trying to look at a scoring system. My assumption, we'll just use it as an example. We're trying to look at an automated scoring system or a better scoring system. Now, that's fine. We can actually build something that will improve the scoring system in Taekwondo. But if we're gathering this data, what else can we use it for? So, as was mentioned, we can start to look at how hard was the hit. We can look at tracking data so that we can look at improving training. So if there's a weakness in a certain area, for that person over time, we can watch any improvements that are happening. But if we've got something on the person, why not measure a few other things? So we can look at the heart rate, we can look at blood pressure, body temperature, the amount of movement within the body itself. We can measure how hard they're falling. So if somebody has a very hard fall, you can raise an alert, get a medic out to see them. And these are sort of things you try and stretch the design out to cover. When you come to implement, you then classify them as absolutely necessary, nice features to have, and would be really good to have, but may not be possible. So you try and break them up into those, and they're the order you work on things, get the absolutely necessary done first. What we'd also like you to do is, we've got a couple of people dealing with water, agriculture, aquaculture areas that have spoken today. Join a group. You're going to have a lot of things that are going to be in common. So when you're looking at agriculture, you're looking at water quality. When you're dealing with irrigation, you still want to look at your water quality, not as higher priority. You'd certainly be interested in the salinity levels. So you want to make sure that you're not getting too much salt out onto the irrigated fields. And in the aquaculture, you're going to have to make sure it's the same. You've got that balance there. So there's a lot of these things you can actually work on together and find the same sort of sensors, use the same routines to read the sensors and build things up as that. Okay, so for our next session, we'd like you to come up with a list of questions, and these can either be typed in, either for your teammates or for the advisors. Don't mind which. We're happy to help out as well. And that'll help lead the discussion through a little bit. So we do want you driving the discussion. We want to be here to help you with what you're doing rather than trying to push information out to you. Okay, so we'd like to start the discussion. If anyone has any questions, I think this first one could be fairly brief as people start to think about what they're doing. Oh, there we go. So we've still got half an hour left. If anyone wants to talk about particular things, we can talk how the course is going to run. In fact, I probably should do a little bit of that now. But we do want you leading these discussions. The material you find up on edX is mostly there as a support for what we hope will develop towards the end. We have a small exercise to help you think about possible options, brainstorming, that sort of thing. Then we need to have you produce a video, which will give you more instructions on in the edX platform itself, how to produce your pitch video. And this is something that you would use with finances or your company to try and push the idea that you have and receive funding for it. These are the 5 to 10 minutes, very strictly limited time period. That's how it would normally work in industry. You would have a set amount of time to talk. So we will make sure that it's 5 to 10 minutes, no more, no less. And it will be to pitch your idea. One of the other key things we have at the very end is you need to write a full proposal. This includes the market research, which is one of the other assessment items earlier on. And we will give you full guidance on how to write this. If anyone is planning to apply for a master's program at Curtin, this will be part of the evidence you'll need to present to get the full credit of prior learning, so to cut the course time down. So it's important that this is written well. And again, we will give you some examples, we'll give you a template of how it should be written, and we'll also go through how to reference other people's work, in case you're unfamiliar with that. So generally that's how we wanted to run material on the website, on edX is there to assist you in how to develop your proposals all the way through. Lots of stuff on project management, new product development, innovation, the cost accounting. That really is the background to what we're trying to develop. So we'll hand back to you, and if you've got some questions, please feel free to ask them now. Oh, there we go. Excellent.
Yeah, Professor, may I speak? I just want to make sure if I understand properly, because the approach that I understand from what we're trying to achieve is more business-oriented, to have like the understanding of who am I competing with and what's the benefits of my product, and have this video and have this proposal at the end. I'm still struggling with my product to build it, into a real stuff. As you may know, I can show you here. I have my small Arduino, but this is too big to work,
Yep.
I know I can make it really small because I used to work for an IoT company, but I know I don't have the skills. I need an engineer to make it, from what I build, something really, really small so I can put it in the proper place. So my question is, should I worry about more the business orientation to have a final proposal and fix that technical stuff later? Or should I focus in fix my problem technically and then worry about, besides that I have to complete all the process?
Okay, we have a really mixed cohort in this program, and I've said in one of the videos that you can approach it from a technical aspect, you can approach it from a business aspect, you can approach it from a artistic aspect if you're working in something in that area, or medical. It's up to you. Now, the end proposal, if you really want to be technical and you want to get the assistance in reducing the size, how do you connect things, how do you do the proper filtering, how do you send the data to your cloud store for later processing, that's what you will build your proposal on. Right? So we would assume if this was a business that we were running, that you've already been given approval to go ahead with the project, and now you're saying, what are the resources I need to build this? How am I going to connect things together? What engineering skills do I need? And that's what would be in your initial proposal, the video proposal. Your end result will be a technical report on, look, I have my prototype. Now, we move to the next stage of commercializing. So if you want to do it from a technical, it would be building the full prototype, proving that it does what you expected it to do and it does it reliably. And the next stage, which isn't in this course, is the actual commercialization. Now, I was just looking for a Arduino that we built here, which does everything the Arduino Nano does, but I've misplaced it because it's so small. This is one that Savash Savash designed this one, and it's smaller than a postage stamp. And that'll do everything the Nano does. That's what the Uno does.
Yeah, yes, I've seen those, and I see. I have a lot of ideas how to make it small. I need it big because I need, to work with my cabling and my programming, and it was kind of clumsy. But I get to the point that I think I can get the information that I want.
So,
Still,
bear with me 1 second.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. Bear with me 1 second. I'll just go to the other side of my office and get something to show you. We developed a talking book reader for the blind. And I can't see it, but you can. This is our prototype. Right, so we've got multiple PCBs, we've got speech synthesizers. What's up there? Oh yeah, speech synthesizer. One processor there, another processor here, and then a keyboard. I don't have our last prototype, that's with a PhD student, but this is what it ends up as. So we have the skills in-house to assist you to physically reduce the size, and if that's the path you want to head down, that is great. We want to see people actually build things and try them out. Our agriculture people online at the moment, these are ideal ones to actually build and go out in the field and test. And that would be what they're reporting out. Did it work? Did it achieve what we want? Is it gathering the correct data? Is the data within tolerance of what we need? Are we storing it reliably? Can we extract data from it? But for other people, they may be more business orientated, not really that technical. But what they'll do is they will build a plan so that they know exactly what to ask the technical engineers and programmers. They will understand enough so they can talk the same language. And they can go out to a company that does this sort of thing and say, here's my requirements, here's my specifications, can you produce this for me? So we don't mind which path you go.
Yeah, I think that, because I think that the prototype can show what I want to, complete. I will have to pass to some people that they can do the circuit, and they can do it really small. I know exactly what protocols I want and how it has to work, so I have everything clear in that aspect. It's just that I don't have the skills to make it small. But yeah, it's clear. I'm going to work in my proposal to make it fit and trying to move on with it.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Anyone unsure about something or?
You can click the raise hand button next to your name in the participants list, and we can respond to that if anyone's got anything to ask, or type in the chat alternatively. Nobody?
Are you all shy? We'll get to know each other a little bit better and be able to chat. Well, I'll stay on for a little bit longer in case anyone's running late. But thank you very much for turning up to our very first seminar. I hope you got just a little something out of it. I didn't mention, we have 80 students currently. Is that right, Josh? Or might even be 81 now. Oh, Naz, please, go ahead.
One thing that you already mentioned, and I would like to emphasize on that, when you are thinking of your project, I think it's good to consider how you're going to collect the data, because we're not only automating the system, it should be a smart automation. So we need to collect data. We either use the data later on for enhancing our system, or we can use it for predictive analytics, so we can predict on in future to make the system works better. So when you are thinking of your project, think of how you're going to collect the data and what data you are going to collect and what you're going to do with it later on. Yeah, thanks, just to mention that again, because I think you mentioned, but just emphasizing on that.
Yeah, that's really what makes it the IoT.
Yeah, different, IoT and
automation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some good machine learning people involved as well to help out if you want to head down that path. Yep, that's it, isn't it?
Sorry, that was a mistake. No, sorry.
Sorry, you can leave the room. Okay. Remember, email if you've got any questions. Just email through to the IoT Capstone email. Let us know what you'd like to know, and we'll be more than happy to help. Okay. Thank you. I'll get out of the slideshow. All right, as soon as I've got the recording processed, I shall put that up and let you know where it is. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
So
and we'll have it
likely to be more in this group by next week as well. So, and more questions.
I think so. Some people haven't quite finished where they want to go.
Yeah. All right. As we get involved further into the project.
I might pay to type. If Andrew had a question, I might pay to actually type it in.
Ian, I'll send Joshua an email. It's actually about having access to Curtin campus because I'm based in Perth.
Officially, no.
Okay.
But if you come and see me, let me know what you actually want to get to. We can, because you're in Perth, we can let you into some of the projects. I don't have a problem with that. So if you need to use any of the 3D printers or soldering, whatever, just come by and see me.
Perfect. At this stage, it's probably more of a workspace requirement and access to the library.
Access to the library, yeah, you can go in and read the books. Anyone can. You can't borrow them unless you're an actual student, which is something we would have difficulty doing.
No, that's all right.
Yep.
Okay.
As a workstation, yep, you can go in to NASA's lab because without a student login, you can't actually log into the general machines and do much. I think there's guest access that's really, really limited. If you email us, we'll let you know where. If you give us some times, of course, we'll make sure someone's around if possible.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yep, but you might find it useful to actually, if you're building something, come in and have a chat to us in person. We can actually point you in the right direction. We might end up filming it to use in the course as well.
No problem at all. That's very good. All right. Thank you, Ian.
You met Ian Case virtually?
Have I? No, I haven't.
Okay, he's another local Perth student who actually works at Curtin.
Okay, I'll reach out to a few people.
Yep. If you haven't spoken to him, that makes 3 Perth people that we have. Anyone else? No? All right, all good. As I said, please feel free to contact us. That's what we're here for, among hundreds of other things. But just send us an email and we'll get to it as quickly as we can. We definitely hope to get to you within 2 days, definitely under 2 days. But please be patient if we can't, because we do get fairly busy with our other courses. If it's getting a bit too long, don't be shy, send another email to remind us. Okay, thank you everyone. See you in a fortnight, and I'll let you know.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'll stop the recording.